Good evening, wandering mind. Listen. The wind moves through ancient stone. The candles tremble. The night is awake. Put on your headphones and let the monastery hold you. And you realize something gently. The night was never about what might happen. It was about what already exists. Wind, stone, breath, stillness. The faint glow in the forest, the shape in the mist, the distant call of a wolf. They were not warnings, they were reminders that the world continues even when you do nothing, even when you simply stand, even when you are quiet. The sun has not yet risen fully, but the sky now holds promise of it. You remove one hand from the stone wall, then the other. You take one last look beyond the fields, calm, clear, ordinary, and somehow beautiful. Footsteps approach behind you, measured, familiar. You do not turn immediately. You allow the morning to complete its arrival. Then, slowly, you face the stairwell. Another guard nods as he takes your place. No words are exchanged. None are needed. You descend the spiral stone staircase, each step carrying you away from the wall, away from the vast sky, away from the silent fields, but not away from the peace. The night remains within you. As you step into the inner courtyard, the first true rays of sunlight spill over the highest tower. Warm, gentle, golden. The torches are extinguished one by one. Smoke rises briefly, then disappears into morning air. You remove your gloves, flex your fingers. The watch is complete. No battles, no alarms, no danger, only presence. And as the castle awakens fully behind you, as voices grow slightly louder, as doors open and morning routines begin, you feel something steady. You stood through the entire night. You witnessed mystery without chasing it. You guarded silence without breaking it. You allowed darkness to exist without fearing it. And now, it is time to rest. Somewhere beyond the castle walls, the world continues its endless motion. But here, within these ancient stones, you have earned stillness. If you wish, you may close your eyes now. The watch is over. The castle stands. The fields are calm. The forest is quiet. The night has just begun, and sleep, the sky above the castle, arrives is a deep blue velvet, slowly darkening into something almost endless. You stand upon the stone battlements, your boots steady against centuries-old rock. The stones beneath your feet are worn smooth by generations of guards who stood exactly where you now stand. You are not alone in history, but tonight you are alone in silence. A torch burns beside you, its flame bending and rising with the wind. Sparks drift upward, disappearing into darkness. Far below, the castle courtyard is quiet. The great wooden gates are closed. Iron bands cross them like ribs. Inside the walls, families sleep. Servants rest. The lord of the castle lies beneath heavy blankets, unaware of the quiet vigilance above. You adjust your cloak. The fabric is thick, wool coarse but warm. The night air carries a chill that seeps slowly into bone, but you have known colder nights than this. The moon rises higher. From your place upon the wall, you can see beyond the outer fields. Dark forest stretches toward the horizon. It is not threatening, not tonight. It is simply vast. An owl calls somewhere in the distance. A single note, then silence again. Your hand rests lightly on the hilt of your sword, not from fear, from habit. The blade remains sheathed. There is no danger, only duty. And something about this duty feels grounding. You do not rush. You do not scroll. You do not check time. You simply watch. The first hour of the night watch is always the most alert. Your senses adjust. Your eyes grow accustomed to shadow. Shapes begin to separate from darkness. A cart abandoned near the outer road. A low stone fence. Tall grass bending gently in the wind. Nothing moves with intention. Nothing approaches. Your breathing slows. In the distance, a faint mist begins to form over the fields. It rolls softly across the earth, like a drifting blanket. The world beyond the castle becomes softer, blurred, almost dreamlike. You lean slightly against the cold stone. Above you, the stars appear one by one, not all at once, but gradually, patiently. There is no hurry in the medieval sky, and there is no hurry in you. Time stretches differently here. You are not guarding against enemies tonight. You are guarding silence. You are guarding sleep. And as you stand there, watching, breathing, listening, you begin to realize something. The night is not empty. It is full of subtle movement, of distant life, of quiet continuity. Somewhere, far beyond the forest, another guard stands upon another wall, under another moon, in another kingdom, and he too listens to wind. You shift your weight slightly. The leather of your belt creaks softly. The torch crackles. A second owl answers the first. This is your world now. Not noise, not urgency. Stone, sky, breath, flame. The first hour passes not with excitement, but with steadiness, and steadiness is enough. The second hour begins quietly. You leave your position beside the torch and begin to walk slowly along the battlements. Your boots echo softly against stone. Measured steps, unhurried. Below you, the mist has thickened across the fields. It rolls in gentle layers, clinging low to the earth. The world beyond the castle walls is no longer clear. It is softened, blurred at the edges. You pause near the northern tower. From here, the forest line is closest. Dark trees rise like silent witnesses, their tops swaying almost imperceptibly. The moonlight glides across the mist, turning it silver. And then you notice something. Not movement, not danger, just a difference. There, beyond the outer field, near the old stone marker that separates the Lord's land from the wild growth beyond, a darker shape within the mist. You narrow your eyes slightly. It is not approaching. It is not retreating. It simply stands. Perhaps a tree stump, perhaps a broken fence post, perhaps nothing at all. The mist shifts. The shape seems to blur. You do not grip your sword. You do not call out. You simply observe. This is what night does. It transforms the familiar into something slightly unknown. You breathe slowly in through your nose. Cold air, clean air. When you exhale, your breath joins the mist below. The shape remains, but now it feels less solid, more like a trick of light, a passing arrangement of shadow and fog. You lean your forearms against the stone parapet, allowing your weight to rest. The wind brushes your cloak again. Somewhere to your left, a raven shifts upon the wall. You hear the faint scrape of claws against stone. It too is watching. The mist thickens further, rolling like a quiet tide, and slowly, very slowly, the darker shape dissolves. Not suddenly, not dramatically. It simply fades, becoming part of the silver haze. You do not feel relief, because you are never afraid. You feel something else. Awareness. The night is alive, but not hostile. It plays with perception. It bends distance. It deepens shadows, but it does not threaten. You resume your walk along the wall. The second tower comes into view. From here, you can see the road that leads toward the nearest village. Empty, silent, untouched. A lantern near the gate flickers once, then steadies. Below, in the courtyard, a horse shifts inside the stable. A soft exhale, a gentle stomp. Life continues in quiet rhythms. You pass another guard stationed near the eastern corner. He nods once. You nod back. No words are needed. The shared understanding of night is enough. As you continue, your mind drifts, not into worry, but into reflection. How many nights have you stood like this? How many moons have risen and fallen over these same stones? You have watched storms roll in. You have watched snowfall cover the fields. You have watched dawn burn away darkness. And tonight, you watch mist play tricks upon the land. The third hour approaches slowly. The air grows slightly colder. The torches burn lower. You return to the northern side of the wall. The mist is still there, but the shape is gone, completely gone. In its place, only open field, quiet, untouched. You allow yourself a faint smile. The night has a way of reminding you that not everything requires reaction. Sometimes observation is enough. The third hour settles over the castle like a deeper layer of night. The mist has thinned slightly now, drifting farther across the lower fields. The air feels clearer, sharper. You remain along the northern wall, where the forest stands like a dark ocean of trees. The moon has climbed higher. Its light spills across the battlements, casting long, quiet shadows behind you. You rest your hands along the cool stone once more, and then you notice it, far beyond the fields, at the very edge of the forest, a faint glow, not bright, not flickering like your torch, not moving like a lantern, just present, a soft amber point of light deep between the trees. You blink once. It remains. You tilt your head slightly, studying the distance. Perhaps a traveler, perhaps a small campfire, perhaps someone returning late along the hidden woodland paths. The forest has always held life. Woodcutters, hunters, hermits who prefer silence over society. It is not strange that someone might be there, and yet the glow does not move. It does not brighten. It does not dim. It simply rests. You inhale slowly. The night remains calm. The castle remains still. No alarms, no raised voices, no hurried footsteps from below. You feel no urgency. Instead, you feel something quieter, curiosity. You lean slightly forward, just enough to rest more weight on your forearms. The wind shifts direction. For a moment, the trees sway together, and the light, reflecting strangely off mist. Or perhaps it is simply distance playing tricks. The night has a way of compressing space, of making far things feel close, and close things feel distant. You let your shoulders relax. The sword at your side feels heavier now, but not from danger, only from gravity. You have learned something over years of standing watch. Most things resolve themselves without intervention. You remain where you are. Minutes pass. The glow softens. The wind moves again, and this time the mist shifts in a wider sweep. The light blurs, then dims, then disappears entirely. Not suddenly, not dramatically, just slowly absorbed into the vast darkness of the forest. You do not feel disappointment. You do not feel relief. Only stillness. The mystery was never meant to be solved. It was meant to be witnessed. And witnessing is enough. Behind you, one of the torches gives a soft crackle, a small piece of wood collapsing inward. You turn your head briefly, ensuring the flame remains steady. It does. Below, a faint cough echoes from somewhere inside the castle walls. Then silence again. Life breathes, even in sleep. You lift your gaze back toward the forest. It is now fully dark. No glow remains. The trees are once again silhouettes against moonlight. You straighten slowly, rolling your shoulders once. The third hour continues its quiet passage, and you realize something gentle. The night does not demand answers. It offers moments, small, passing, almost invisible moments. And if you are patient enough, you get to see them. The fourth hour is the quietest. Even the wind seems to grow tired. The torches along the walls burn lower now, their flames smaller, their crackling softer. You stand once more near the northern tower, but your body feels heavier, as if the night itself has gently settled upon your shoulders. The forest remains dark. No light returns. The fields lie still beneath the moon, and something changes within you, not outside, inside. Your breathing slows further, deeper, longer. The sounds of the castle fade into background presence. The distant shifting of a horse, the faint murmur of someone turning in sleep, the low whisper of fabric moving against stone. Nothing urgent, nothing sharp, only continuity. You begin walking again, this time slower than before. Your boots no longer echo. The rhythm of your steps has become soft, absorbed by the night. You reach the western side of the wall, where the land slopes downward into open fields. From here, the horizon feels wider. The sky above is vast, more stars now than you noticed earlier. It is as if the night revealed them gradually, rewarding patience. You lean your back gently against the stone. The cold seeps through your cloak, but it is not uncomfortable. It is grounding. You close your eyes for a moment, not in sleep, just in awareness. The world continues without your sight. The wind moves, the torches burn, the castle breathes. You open your eyes again. The moon has shifted slightly. Time is moving, even if you no longer measure it. Your hand rests on the stone beside you, rough, solid, unchanging. These walls have seen centuries, wars, celebrations, storms, births, losses, and yet tonight they hold only quiet. You tilt your head upward, studying the moon. Its light is calm, unhurried. It does not rush across the sky. It simply exists. You begin to realize something subtle. Standing watch is not about danger. It is about presence. To guard is to witness, to remain steady while the world moves through its cycles. The mystery in the forest has faded, but its memory lingers like a distant echo, not threatening, not unresolved, just part of the night. You feel no need to search for more. Your thoughts begin to slow, like embers cooling. There is no task demanding action, no decision requiring urgency. Only standing, only breathing, only being. The deepest hour passes almost invisibly. A thin cloud drifts across the moon, softening the light. Shadows grow gentler. The air becomes colder still, but your body has adjusted. You pull your cloak slightly tighter. Somewhere far beyond the walls, a wolf calls. Not close, not near, just a long, distant sound carried by wind. It does not alarm you. It feels ancient, natural, part of the fabric of night. The call fades, silence returns, and in that silence, you feel something unexpected. Peace. Not dramatic peace, not triumphant peace. Just steady, quiet, unremarkable peace. The kind that does not announce itself. The kind that simply settles in. Your mind drifts lightly, not into worry, not into plans, but into stillness. You realize that hours have passed without the need for intervention. The castle remains safe. The forest remains distant. The world remains whole. And you, standing upon these walls, are simply a small, steady point within it. The fourth hour fades. The deepest part of night begins to loosen its grip. And somewhere beyond the eastern hills, though you cannot yet see it, dawn prepares itself quietly. The fifth hour does not arrive suddenly. It unfolds, almost invisibly. At first, nothing seems different. The moon still hangs above. The air is still cold. The torches still burn low. And yet, there is a subtle shift. The darkness is no longer absolute. Far to the east, beyond the rolling hills, the black of night begins to soften into a deep shade of blue. You would not notice it at first glance, but you have stood watch long enough to recognize the change. Dawn never rushes. It approaches quietly, like a careful guest. You walk once more along the battlements, your movements slower now, not from fatigue, but from completion. The forest remains still. No light returns. No shapes rise from mist. The mystery of the night has dissolved entirely, absorbed into memory, and that feels right. Some things belong only to darkness. As you reach the eastern tower, you pause. The horizon has shifted again. The deep blue now carries a thin thread of pale silver. Not bright, not radiant, just present. The stars nearest that edge begin to fade, one by one, not disappearing, just yielding. You rest your hands upon the stone once more. It feels colder now, as if it too has held the night within it. Below, the castle begins its earliest stirrings. A faint movement in the kitchens, a distant door opening, soft footsteps crossing stone corridors, life preparing to wake. You are no longer guarding sleep. You are guarding transition. The sky brightens gradually, layer upon layer, blue into lighter blue, silver into faint gold. The moon grows pale. Its dominance fades without protest. And in that quiet surrender, you feel something profound. Nothing fights the morning. Night does not resist. Stars do not cling. Darkness does not argue. Everything simply changes. You inhale slowly. The air smells different now, less sharp, more open. The cold begins to retreat. A bird calls from somewhere near the outer wall. Not an owl this time, a morning bird. Clear, soft, hopeful. You straighten your posture slightly. Your shift is nearly complete. Another guard will soon climb the steps to replace you. You will descend into warmth, into bread and quiet rest. But for a moment longer, you remain, watching the first light touch the highest stones of the castle. The towers glow faintly, then brighter. The fields beyond become visible again. The forest reveals its depth, its edges no longer mysterious. And you realize something gently. The night was never about what might happen. It was about what already exists. Wind, stone, breath, stillness. The faint glow in the forest, the shape in the mist, the distant call of a wolf. They were not warnings, they were reminders that the world continues even when you do nothing, even when you simply stand, even when you are quiet. The sun has not yet risen fully, but the sky now holds promise of it. You remove one hand from the stone wall, then the other. You take one last look beyond the fields, calm, clear, ordinary, and somehow beautiful. Footsteps approach behind you, measured, familiar. You do not turn immediately. You allow the morning to complete its arrival. Then, slowly, you face the stairwell. Another guard nods as he takes your place. No words are exchanged. None are needed. You descend the spiral stone staircase, each step carrying you away from the wall, away from the vast sky, away from the silent fields, but not away from the peace. The night remains within you. As you step into the inner courtyard, the first true rays of sunlight spill over the highest tower. Warm, gentle, golden. The torches are extinguished one by one. Smoke rises briefly, then disappears into morning air. You remove your gloves, flex your fingers. The watch is complete. No battles, no alarms, no danger, only presence. And as the castle awakens fully behind you, as voices grow slightly louder, as doors open and morning routines begin, you feel something steady. You stood through the entire night. You witnessed mystery without chasing it. You guarded silence without breaking it. You allowed darkness to exist without fearing it. And now, it is time to rest. Somewhere beyond the castle walls, The world continues its endless motion. But here, within these ancient stones, you have earned stillness. If you wish, you may close your eyes now. The watch is over. The castle stands. The fields are calm. The forest is quiet. And sleep, like dawn, arrives gently.